All right, here we go. Meat week. Doing something a little bit different since this meat prep was pretty much a total shit show from the beginning with the adductor issue. So I decided to do a SBD day on my normal squat day, which is a Sunday, 6 days out before the competition. Didn't work up to anything really heavy. A little over 330 on squats here, just for a couple singles. Just try to make sure form, technique, everything is feeling right, foot placement, kind of all that normal stuff that you would do each week. But since this week or this prep, I had to kind of adjust a lot of things and play with things. I wanted to just make sure everything was about as good as it could be for somebody who's, I guess, pretty much recovering from a little bit of a strain. Moving on a bench, I don't think I touched anything over 245, just for some singles. Kind of just making sure I was setting my lats, foot placement, which on comp day didn't really matter because the height of the bench that we were using was a lot lower than the one that I have in my house. Then just a little bit of deadlifting, and you have Don there kind of watching my foot placement under the bar. We did one close and then one midpoint, and the midpoint felt a lot better, so that's what we went with. And this is something else I don't normally do. This was on the Wednesday before the Saturday comp. Just did a little bit of a back work day. Really enjoying these pulls. Wanted to get some blood flow, get some blood into the joints. So did some banded rows and a little bit of trap bar just to, kind of work the legs there. So really nothing big. A little bit of buys for the guys and tries for the girls. That was it. So getting to comp day, I weighed in at 291, which is pretty good. The meet site was a pretty decent setup per normal out at RPG here in Michigan. And honestly, they got a pretty good amount of space in a warm-up room. 2 monos, 2 benches, and 2 deadlift platforms. So really happy to be doing that. So I'm going to let these videos play on, and then I'll see you on the other side.
Let's go, Kevin! Let's get this shit! Tight, baby! Try that fuck, yeah, baby! Yeah, butter, baby! 25 years ago, I'd never let him forget this shit. It's rare you get one up on Kevin. Let's go, you crazy motherfucker. Wait down, man. Come on, Kevin. Everything you got, man. Let's go.
So first attempt squat 557, then second 617, ended with a 639. All white lights. You could tell by my third I was burying everything in the hole. Open bench 391, then 429. The 463, I thought I got a little bit of a quick press command, but I can't control that. All white lights, but I'm still happy with it. Wish the pause could have been a little bit longer just to make it a little bit more of a solid lift, but I can't complain too much. Deadlifts, you guys saw that 699. It was crazy. I wanted 1800 once things started rolling, and I just made it happen. Dug real deep. My crew got behind me, wife, everybody, and you could hear that head judge yelling and screaming. That was one of my very first training partners when I joined the sport 20 years ago, John Zeman. So yeah, he really gets you amped up, and so yeah, 1801 total, 455 dots at 291. So that was a 55-pound PR on my total from Ghost Clash at 14 pounds lighter. All right, so here I am, day after the comp, and uh, still kind of going through the emotions uh, of this whole thing, mostly because I did way more than I anticipated. Um, at 2 points during this training cycle, I almost backed out of it, which is common for me for RPG. I've signed up for two other comps in years past and got injured and pulled out. So it was almost a thing of pride that I do not pull out no matter what for this competition. And secondly, because everybody here that trains in my garage gym was competing, and I really, really wanted to party on the platform with everybody. So no matter what, I had to dig through and get through this day. Um, a week prior, me and my wife were at dinner, and I was talking to her, telling her I was having a lot of reservations, and I was like, I used the word embarrassed. I didn't want to embarrass myself and embarrass my gym and embarrass the guys that I trained with what I was going to do out there compared to what I did at the Ghost Clash or compared to what I used to be when I was a lot younger. But, she said, well, then why don't you back out? And I was like, I can't. But it was in the back of my head that I was going to be an embarrassment. So there was a little bit of that weird mental shit going on. And this sport of powerlifting is so much mental. It's crazy. Even after 20 years or so, it still gets me on that type of stuff. But I'm glad I didn't back out. Um, I just kept each week trying to figure out how I could do squats, how I could do deads, how I could bench, and try to come up with something. And my experience, the experience of my training partners, uh, really shine through to help build whatever the hell I was able to do and concoct it on a weekly basis to just get to the next week. Um, when I hurt the adductor, I went to a physical therapist, was doing physical therapy, was getting dry needling with stim, was getting massage, was avoiding doing any type of training that would involve the adductor. I mean, anything and everything, Motrin, BPC 157, which it never fucking works for me ever. I'm not gonna waste my money on that stuff again. The nasal spray, the injectable, just it never works for me. People love it. I get it. I know people that it works for. Doesn't do nothing for me. So I'll never try it again. Just a waste of money, in my opinion, on my body. Um, but I just think what got me through was everyone was prepping, everybody was coming to the garage to do their thing, and it was, even though I had a lot of days where I had zero want to train, I just, grab my shit, go in there and figure out what I can do. If you look into previous videos, I was changing my width, my squat stance. I was even sumo deadlifting from the floor with hook grip. It was affecting my bench to where my leg drive was all weird. Um, so there was a lot of weeks where nothing was going good at all. And to perform the way I did uh, shocked me quite a bit. But what's funny is usually the night before a competition, we all make our notes or whatever, and we start going over stuff. Well, I went to my parents' house to have dinner, and I left my phone there. So when me and my wife come home, my parents are blowing up my work phone, and my dad's like, "You left your phone here." I was like, I'll get it another day. I'm not driving all the way back and screwing up my rest and all that stuff. So the time that I would normally take to start going over my notes to get mentally prepared for all my attempts and everything, I had nothing. So I just came up with a new game plan of I'm going to make a run at some shit. So I just thought at Ghost Clash, I totaled 1746. What do I got to do to get 1800? So I figured if I play it kind of cool for squats and bench, push it a little bit past what some of the numbers I hit in training, what do I need for 1800 in the deadlift? And 699 was the number. So I did what I did. I hit the 639 squat, then I hit the 463 bench, and I already knew I needed 699, which the heaviest pull I had all prep was 640, and it was a grinder. But YOLO, you go out there and do what we do. So I third attempted, and I don't want to say I smoked it. There was a part of the lift near my knees where it got real slow, and I got a little shaky, and I just kept grinding. And it helps when everyone's screaming out your name, as you could hear in the videos, the loud guy screaming, in all three lifts. That's, like I said, one of my original training partners, one of the most intense lifters I've ever lifted with in my entire life. I don't think I'll ever lift with anybody as intense as he is, and you can see how he is as a judge. Yeah, it helped a lot to have a lot of those people there to get me through to a 1801 total when I had probably the shittiest meet prep I've ever had in my life. But a little bit of experience, a little bit of being able to listen to your body and know what you can do. I will add, I did take some prednisone on Friday. I found some. It was 6 years old. Still worked. Didn't feel anything. Feeling it today, but I'm all good. Didn't tear anything, which was always good. Adductor leads to tight hips, tight hamstrings, and tight calves. So everything's where it was when I walked in there. So I was really happy about that. But I used the prednisone to kind of mask the pain a little bit. I don't normally like to do that kind of stuff, but when in Rome and you find 6-year-old prednisone, pound it. Yeah, so that was it was an amazing day to train and all prep with everybody, and then we all compete on the same day. We all sat together. We went to lunch or breakfast after weigh-ins, and then we all sat together during the meet day. All our families were there. It was really a fun day. It's probably one of the funnest competitions I had. I was so excited. We got there at around 8 in the morning, and I was just jonesing to lift. I haven't had that, and I was actually getting worried I was going to have an adrenaline dump type of deal like I did in Vegas a couple years ago. But everybody doing good. It was just one of those. It was a wave that just never crashed, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was one of the funnest meets. One of my training partners didn't have the day he wanted, but he still won Best Male Raw Lifter, so you can't really complain too much about that. Congrats, Don. I know it's not what you wanted, but you still showed out, man. You're still an amazing lifter. And, one of my training partners, it was his second competition, and he showed out. Another guy, Jeff, finally getting his shit together, and he showed it on all three lifts. Gary, he competed with me down at Ghost Clash. He's continuing to be the best lifter in here. And Dan is becoming one of the best lifters I have seen come through here. I met him when I first started, when he was, I believe, just in college. I've known him for damn 20 years now. It's kind of funny to say that. But he takes coaching in little tips or tricks and things and just runs with it. And he's so quiet, but he's like a quiet assassin in here, and he just puts meet after meet after meet together. So to share the platform with everybody was really, really fun. So I was planning on taking some time off after this competition to get strong, but I think I'm already strong. I just need to get better strong. So, probably going to take a week off. It looks like I'm already 21 weeks out from my next one. And I was, if I would have done really bad here, I would have taken the time off to rethink some things and work on some imbalances and stuff, which I am going to do, working with Dan, who I just spoke of, on doing some kettlebell work because I got to do something about these hips, do something about my shoulders being really tight. Getting under the bar is getting harder and harder. Getting into the hole with my hips being as tight as they are is getting harder and harder. So I need to find some other things to stimulate uh, building that strength other than just always squatting and deadlifting and overhead pressing and benching. I got to find some different plane movement to get stronger with internally so I can make these lifts even better. Because I don't know, I'm about 14 months before I turn 49, and I really, really want 2K before I turn 49. So whether it happens or not, I don't know. But I think I kind of just set myself up for a good run at it, given if I do March and then one more next year, it's a good chance. So I learned a lot this prep. I could really, really suck, but as long as I keep working and believe in yourself, whatever. I don't really say that shit a lot, but just keep working, just keep grinding, and you can make the shit happen. So that's about all I got after this one. It's not as pretty as any of the other ones, but damn, it felt good. So, all right, that's all I got. I'm done talking. I'm going to bore you. So, see y'all later.